The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day, we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by LevelTradingField.com, the online communication, research, and quantitative platform with the largest collection of financial tools for traders, including the innovative Bitcoin Market Predictor. The Bitcoin Market Predictor is a simple prediction game where 10 people place bets on the future price of Bitcoin, and the top 3 most accurate predictions wins. Sign up at LevelTradingField.com with promo code INSIDER. The Options News Rundown is also brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in options trading education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's Live Advantage Group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is February 7th, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Wednesday. Wall Street is back to the doldrums after a brief respite. A volatile week in markets looks set to continue on Wednesday as U.S. futures pointing to a lower open on Wall Street, coming on the back of a strong recovery day earlier. At 6:10 a.m. Eastern Time, the blue chip Dow Jones futures tumbled 225 points, or 0.9%. S&P 500 futures fell 26 points, or 0.97%, while the NASDAQ 100 futures traded down 59 points, or 0.89%. Even as volatility calmed on Tuesday, the negative reading of U.S. futures was accompanied by another rise in the CBOE Volatility Index, as traders looked to protect against drops in the S&P 500. European shares broke a 7-day losing streak on Wednesday as investors took heart from a strong bounce on Wall Street at the end of a roller coaster session. However, most major European benchmarks were eyeing the drop in U.S. futures with caution, pairing gains in midday trade. Earlier, Asian stocks underwent a similar pattern, suggesting traders' nerves will still be on edge after Monday's huge drop when the Dow notched its biggest intraday decline in history with a nearly 1,600-point drop, and Wall Street erased its gains for the year. The second thing to know today is bond yields and the dollar are steady ahead of Fed speak. Recent moves in the bond market have been a hot topic to explain the waves caused in equities. Rising bond yields can crimp demand for assets perceived as riskier, such as stocks, particularly when those yields are higher than those of equities. However, bond yields were relatively stable in early trading on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the dollar turned higher against major rivals in early trade on Wednesday, recovering from early losses and on track to register its 4th straight session of gains amid equity market volatility. Third thing to know today is oil prices head lower ahead of inventories. Oil prices were under pressure in some volatile trade on Wednesday as investors weighed on U.S. inventory data of official figures later in the session. The American Petroleum Institute reported late Tuesday that U.S. crude inventories fell by 1.1 million barrels in the week to February 2nd. Fourth thing to know is cryptocurrencies bounced back between around 20%. The price of digital currency Bitcoin bounced higher on Wednesday, building on gains from the previous day when it recovered from a drop to its lowest levels in more than 2 months amid a broad-based sell-off of digital assets. Bitcoin jumped 25.73% to $8,197.30 by 6:12 a.m. Eastern Time on the Bitfinex exchange. And the fifth thing to know today is the German government coalition deal is reportedly made. European investors took heart in reports that German politicians had reached a deal to form a coalition government on Wednesday. According to several media reports, the center-left Social Democrats reached an agreement over the distribution of ministries with ruling Chancellor Angela Merkel's Conservatives. Our second story today is from LiveTradingNews.com. Chicago agricultural commodities finished higher. Chicago Board of Trade agricultural commodities finished higher Tuesday, with soybean futures rising more than 1.7% on concerns about dry weather hurting crops prospects in Argentina, despite rains expected in the weekend. Corn rose on the weather worries and on improving export demand for U.S. supplies, and wheat followed the firm trend. The most active corn contract for March delivery rose 4.75 cents, or 1.32%, to close at $363.50 a bushel. March wheat delivery went up 6 cents, or 1.3%, to close at $4.4625 per bushel. May soybeans added 16.5 cents, or 1.7%, to close at $9.8625 per bushel. Our next story today is from CNBC.com. Mortgage volume stalls as rates rise to the highest level in 4 years. First week in February usually marks the start of the busy spring housing market, but you wouldn't know that from the mortgage market. Total mortgage application volume barely moved last week, up just 0.7% to a seasonally adjusted basis from 1 week earlier, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Volume was 5% higher than the same week a year ago. Applications to refinance a home loan, which usually fall when rates rise, eked out a 1% gain for the week and were nearly 2% higher than a year ago, when interest rates were lower. Some borrowers may have jumped to get to the last low rates now, fearing even higher ones coming soon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, February 7th, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Trade smart. Have a great day.
The Options News Rundown is brought to you by LevelTradingField.com, the online communication, research, and quantitative platform with the largest collection of financial tools for traders, including the innovative Bitcoin Market Predictor. The Bitcoin Market Predictor is a simple prediction game where 10 people place bets on the future price of Bitcoin, and the top 3 most accurate predictions wins. Sign up at LevelTradingField.com with promo code INSIDER. The Options News Rundown is also brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in options trading education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's Live Advantage Group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.